Hey, good morning. I am in my room today. It's kind of a nice little feel. I feel great. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I was just somewhat unsure because I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers with the title of this video, which I'm contemplating calling it I wrote a letter to my husband's girlfriend. This isn't to throw shade at anyone, and the title is based in truth as the divorce hearing is set for this coming June, the final hearing. So finally, after 2 years, finally after more than 2 years, I will be a single lady. Ooh, I really, I'm not, that's not why I'm doing this video. On Saturday, I had the wonderful pleasure of celebrating my daughter's 6th birthday. Her birthday's on the 27th of March, and it was on a Monday, so her father and I did our own things on our, on our individual weekends, and she was so happy. Is everybody coming up? Hey. Hey. Hi. Hey.
Happy birthday, Freddie! Let's decorate it.
Yes, I was doing my best. There's pizza in the kitchen if y'all hungry. And hopefully I could find some footage because I just want to show a little segment or montage of where we started to where we are now, because it used to just be the 3 of us in our kitchen with a cupcake. And Layla still doesn't eat like the cupcakes. Like maybe she'll go for the frosting, but like the actual cake, yeah, she doesn't do that yet. At least as far as I know. The growth, from that time until now, even though her father and I do things apart, it is still just a blessing. I was talking to my sister shortly before I began filming this video, and she again was like, girl, I see the growth. And she reminded me that 2 years ago when I, had to leave the home that we all shared, I was in someone else's place in a room that was full of like junk, and we could barely fit our airbed in there, and I was just praying to God that I could get into this apartment, that he would send someone our way to to help me out so I could stand on my own. And God has showed up every single time, and I can't do anything but give him praise and thank him for the people that has been strategically placed in my life. And something else that I hear often from the people that have come to support me is that God is intentional. TD Jakes has said it, that nothing you've been through will be wasted. And that's my greatest prayer, because and I'm not sure why, but Brandon tells me, this was in January, the last time that this was said, that I'm a waste of time and energy, and I know that for him the relationship was a waste of time. But I don't let that get to me anymore. I just remember that nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. Nothing that I went through in that marriage or any relationship that I've had throughout my 31 years will be wasted, and it's all made me better. And without that waste of time, I wouldn't have the beautiful child that God has placed in my life. I know I say that she's mine, but Layla belongs to herself. She belongs to God. And I'm just thankful that he allowed me to be the vessel that brought her into this world. I'm thankful that I am a witness and a guide to her life as she's on her journey to becoming the person that God has purposed her to be. So no way. And I appreciate the relationship, not just for Layla, but just for all that it was. Even with the pain, I have great memories, and those belong to me, and I'm not gonna let nobody take that from me. Happy birthday to you. I'm gonna sing anyway. Happy birthday, dear Layla. Happy birthday to you. Can you blow the candles? Say.
Blow it, blow it. Okay.
Wow.
did it.
So last February on the 8th, we attended Layla's parent-teacher conference, and I had mentioned to Brandon that I wanted to throw Layla a birthday party at Urban Air. She really likes it there, and now that she's gonna be 6 years old, she can do some of the, you know, some of the more mature things in the, it's an indoor park. It's an indoor park. Layla had told me all of the things that she wanted for her birthday. She said she wanted presents and birthday cake and balloons and popsicles and friends. And I was like, okay, friends and people to celebrate her. And I was like, okay, like how can I make this happen? And so I told her dad about it because I was thinking, you know, I'm sure that she would enjoy having everyone there, like her dad and her grandma. And he was okay. He didn't say no. He said he was cool with it, and even said that he would help to pay half. But on my way to the car, he was getting Layla's book bag, and he said that conversations needed to be had first between me, Shaiwanda, and his mother. And at that point, I was just like, okay, you have my number. But of course, you know, as I'm driving away, I get home and I'm like, conversations about what? Because usually when I say anything about the past or anything relating within the last 2 years, Brandon's just like, oh, that's in the past. You know, don't talk to me about it unless it has anything to do with Layla. And that's the energy I feel like goes for anyone else. Like your new significant other, your mom, I don't feel as though I owe anyone any explanations or apologies, because, you know, to me, I'm like, I'm not getting any. You know, like, you all are gonna stand on your own actions. So I called like my nephew Corey, and Corey, you know, I go to him for co-parenting advice because he knows what it's like. He has 3 children, and he's not currently in relationship with any of the mothers of his children. He's engaged to be married, so he's had to navigate a lot. So I appreciate his wisdom. And he was just like, you know, you don't have to do that. You don't have to speak to anyone. You don't have to, you know, you don't owe his mom, not like, no. And he said it could be helpful if you talk to him and get on the same page with him. And a lot of people have said that. And I was like, it's not that I haven't tried to speak to him. I remember the day that I found out about his relationship with his new person, that I said, you know, you building a new relationship with someone else shouldn't be your focus. We first need to figure out what it's gonna mean with us not being together. That's not even something that you should be doing right now. You're still in this relationship, you know. And it was just, I'm doing me. So it's like, I can't force you to come to the table. I did send him a message and say, before I speak with anybody, I need, you know, you and I should have a sit down and get on the same page, because before I speak to not so much his mom, but to Shaiwanda, like, I need to understand what you mean by, like what about the last 2 years do I need? What? Like, so I just needed to be clear on that, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't feel comfortable sharing space with her. And for some reason, I wasn't really thinking about the fact that she would be there, you know. And at this point, I don't feel comfortable sharing space with her because of what happened when she hit me. And she didn't just hit me once, she hit me 3 times in my face. And I know I did a video right after that happened, taking accountability for my part in it. But I want to make it clear, I firmly know and believe there's nothing that I've done or could ever do to deserve someone violating my physical being in a violent manner. Nothing. And I don't approve of that. And I don't approve of anyone threatening to come and beat my ass in front of my child. I still, like, I don't think about it all the time, but it was recently, 2 weeks ago, Layla and I were waiting in the drive-thru of McDonald's for her Happy Meal. And she says to me, she's like, "Mommy, Shai hurt your eye, that wasn't very nice." And I said, "Yeah, you're right, honey, that wasn't very nice." I didn't realize she still remembered that. I talked to my sister after my nephew. Brandon did reply and say that we could set up a time to, talk, sit down and have a talk. That did not come about, and I didn't pursue it any further. Look, I am of the firm belief that we all are where we're supposed to be. If certain things are going to happen, it's going to happen. All you can do is put it out there. If it comes back, then it comes back. If not, then that's just not what was supposed to go down. My sister, me and her, we disagreed heavily because I was just like no, there's no reason why I have to say anything to her. She's not gonna say anything to me. She doesn't feel as though she's done anything wrong by me, and I'm like, I can't even believe that she could think that I did anything wrong by her, a situation that she brought herself in improperly. That's my opinion. And my sister's like, look, forget all of that. The fact of the matter is, she's gonna be a part of Layla's life. This woman's gonna be around your daughter whenever she's around her father. There's no way of getting around that. And she's gonna be helping him take care of your daughter. And she said, take it from someone from experience, because her ex got remarried twice. And she had to develop communication with these women because of her children. And she said, you have to think about the fact that whenever you talk to him about your daughter, it's not just you and him anymore, it's the three of y'all, because whatever you tell him, he's gonna go back and tell her, and then they're gonna decide based on their life. So she said, you have to take all of that into account. And she said, it's much better to eventually be in a place where you can speak to her directly about Layla and not have to go through the middleman and have miscommunication between y'all. She said, I know you don't want to hear it right now, but it's just the mature thing to do. You don't have to be best friends with her or anything like that, but I just need you to understand that you need to put Layla first no matter what. It's about your daughter. So we ended that conversation real tense. But I love my sister, I value her opinion, and I do firmly believe that she would never steer me in the wrong direction. And of course, anyone who knows me, even if you just know me through YouTube, I love my daughter. I absolutely love her. And I do anything for her. Just like any other parent who loves their child, even if you don't know me. If you're a parent, if you're a surrogate parent, you know what that's like. When you truly love somebody and you're willing to sit down and be like, so I figured that the talk between Brandon and I may or may not happen. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait on him to make a move. And as I shouldn't, because I don't make my moves based on him or anyone else. I guess the sun is hiding behind the clouds. Hopefully I could brighten this later, because I'm just seeing a whole lot of shadow here. I'll see about trying to brighten this up later. But, so I was like, I will have to do something. And I don't have her number, or I might have her number. It could have changed since the last number I had. But I don't feel comfortable texting or having a phone conversation either, and I certainly, again, I don't feel comfortable sharing space with her at this particular time. And I was sitting on the couch talking to Jordan about it over the phone, and it just kind of came to me, write a letter. You're a writer, and I believe I express myself very well and clearly. I enjoy my penmanship. And I thought, I'll write a letter. And I just couldn't believe that that's what my line of thinking was. I said, am I really about to write a letter to my husband's girlfriend? Who the hell does this? And I just was kind of baffled that I even was in such a place to be considering such a thing. I never thought 2 years ago, I couldn't even get him to tell me who she was. I'm like, I will never forget. I come into our bedroom and he's laying in our bed, and I come around the side, because he's on the phone with her, and I'm like, what is going on? Who is this woman that has my husband's attention like this? I want to know. And he says to me, and I'm sure she must have heard it, I'm not your husband. And I was so deflated. I I felt so embarrassed. I felt so many things. And now I'm writing this stranger a letter. And I just wanted to share it because a lot of people, when I perform my poetry and I share my story, of course, my experience it's only unique because of the people involved, but many people have experienced what I have. And I come off of the stage or the platform from which I'm speaking from, and there are tears. There are people who are crying, and they come and they hold me as I'm crying, because sometimes I cry, and they're like holding me and they're saying, you have no idea what you just did for me. Thank you. You know, and they speak blessings over my life, and they let me know the grass is greener wherever you go, honey. You're gonna be so much better when you come out of this. Thank you for sharing that, because I know what that's like. I've been through it too. So for anyone out there watching this, you gonna get through it, and sometimes you do have to be the bigger person. As far as communication goes, I reached out first because I just don't see that she would be able to, or I don't know if she's wanting to. Brandon might have just put that out there for himself. I don't know, but I just know for me, this is something that I had to do for me as a part of healing, and because I love Layla. So this is what I wrote to my husband's girlfriend. Dear Shy, hi, I'm Sabrina Faith White. I turned 31 on New Year's, and I'm allergic to cats. We shook hands before, but I think we were robbed of a proper introduction, at least meeting on a positive note. Not all stories start out clean cut though. I imagine one day, maybe, when Layla asks about the events leading up to the creation of this letter, I'll be able to laugh about it all. However, at this time, I'm not there yet. I'm writing this letter because I thought about throwing Layla a birthday party. When I mentioned it to Brandon, he brought you up, his mother, and the need for conversations to be had. Since then, I've had multiple talks with the people in my life whom I trust for guidance. My sister Stacy said to me that it's important for the two of us to establish communication and mutual respect for the sake of Layla. I was unable to contain my upset with her words because, Shy, I wish we never had to speak with one another. Just being honest. Stacy is right. I know she is. Only I haven't figured out how to completely put the anger and hurt aside. Presently, I'm doing my best to get out of my own way, to push forward and communicate effectively with Brandon. It's important for Layla. I love her so much, and do recognize I've been selfish with our daughter due to my own pain. I don't know what your experience has been the past 2 years. I'm not sure that I'll ever know, because truly it's not my business to know. What I do want to say to you is thank you. Thank you for treating my daughter well thus far, for taking her to school when I'm not able to, for the times you have done her hair, although it thoroughly annoyed me. I understand it's great for Layla that you cared to do that. There's probably many more things you've done for her that I'll never know, or at least until Layla gets even better with communication and she tells me about it. I'm writing this letter because it's the best way I felt to initiate communication. I'm not sure we're ready for this, but time waits for no one. The birthday is a nice idea, but seemingly too soon for that to occur with everyone in attendance. Maybe next year. Still, I have faith that it'll happen when it's time to. I pray that you and your daughters have a great week. All my best, Sabrina. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews 11:1.